What if everything you've heard about mermaids is wrong? What if the stories you've been told are only the surface? The ocean has always held secrets, dark, ancient secrets. But what happens when one of those secrets rises to the surface? In this video, you won't just witness a mermaid, you'll experience something far darker, something the ocean's depths have kept hidden for centuries. What is it waiting for? And who or what is it searching for? Brace yourself. What comes next will change everything you think you know about the sea. The sea, a place of endless mysteries and horrors. But this is something different. A creature of myth, dragged from the depths into the harsh light of the surface. Its scream echoes through the stormy air, raw and primal, yet oddly still. Held by two men, struggling but not resisting. An eerie calmness surrounding it. It's as if the mermaid knows its power, knows that it can strike when it chooses. But for now, it's simply watching. The terror in their eyes is palpable. One man, hesitant, his body shaking as he holds the net. The other, bracing for something, unsure of what to expect. But what is this creature thinking? What is it waiting for? Its eyes lock with the man closest to it. There's no escape now. The tension rises, the air thick with fear and uncertainty. And yet, it does nothing. Its movements are calculated, deliberate, as if testing the waters, waiting for the perfect moment. But in this moment, it's in control. And the men? They are at the mercy of something far older, far darker than anything they've ever known. This is no simple catch. This is a warning. And deep down, they know. This encounter is far from over. The men think they've seen it all. But what happens next is even more terrifying. The creature, the mermaid, is no longer contained. Her movements are wild, her fury unstoppable. Her scream cuts through the air, a guttural sound that echoes off the boat and into the storm. The man who's holding her neck can feel the raw power of her resistance. Her body thrashes beneath him, her powerful tail slamming against the wooden floor with a force that makes the entire boat tremble. He's struggling, his grip tightening around her neck, but she's relentless. Her eyes burn with an ancient primal fury, and her mouth snaps open, revealing rows of sharp teeth, as if she's ready to tear through everything and everyone. He can hear her growl, a noise that rattles his bones. But the terror isn't in the sound alone, it's in the way her body moves, contorting, fighting, clawing for freedom. She's stronger than anything he's ever encountered, stronger than he could ever have imagined. The man behind her pulls back, his hands shaking as he watches the mermaid struggle. He knows he can't hold her forever. There's no way. Her scream cuts through him, her rage palpable, and yet, despite her fury, there's something unsettlingly calm about her. She's calculating. She's waiting for the right moment. And then, without warning, she jerks, hard. The man holding her tightens his grip, but it's clear it's only a matter of time before he loses control. The mermaid's body is too strong, her movements too fast. Her claws scratch the air, and her body thrashes in a desperate attempt to break free. But he won't let go. Hold her still. One of the other men yells, but his voice is barely audible over the chaos of the storm. The man, drenched in sweat and fear, doesn't respond. He can't. He's barely holding on himself. Her tail crashes against the floor again, sending a spray of water into the air. The man's heart races as the creature continues to fight, twisting, snapping. Her eyes lock with his, full of ancient fury. This isn't just a creature, this is something out of nightmares, and it's no longer afraid. Her mouth opens wide, revealing a set of teeth that could tear through flesh in an instant. She's looking for her chance, and the man knows if he lets his guard down, she'll take it. But even as the man struggles to maintain control, he feels a creeping sensation at the back of his mind. It's not just fear. It's a deep, instinctual understanding. This creature is more than they thought, more than anyone could have ever prepared for. The mermaid lets out one final scream, louder this time, more guttural. A sound so terrifying that it feels like the world is trembling beneath them. Her tail thrashes again, and the man's grip slips, just for a second. That's all it takes. With one final, explosive movement, she's free. The man can't hold her anymore. Her claws flash, and his heart skips a beat as he stumbles back. The mermaid is no longer contained. And with that, the storm outside seems to intensify, as if the sea itself is responding to her release. But as the chaos begins to settle, we shift our focus far away, where the ocean touches another shore. In this new part of the world, the story continues, where another mermaid body, tied in nets, her breathing shallow but desperate, her eyes wide open, staring straight into the lens. The fear in her eyes is unlike anything you've seen, pure terror, the kind of terror that freezes your very soul. She's not like the myths. This isn't some fairy tale creature. She's real. And she's looking at you, pleading with her eyes for release. But there's no escape, no way to run. She's been captured. And she's not the only one. As the camera zooms out, you see another mermaid, barely able to move, thrashing weakly against the ropes. The second one is just as human, but there's something darker about her. The first one is struggling, her movements slow, almost deliberate, like she's conserving energy, trying to gather strength for the inevitable. But the second one, she's panicked, writhing as though she knows the end is near. They're both terrifying in their own right. The camera lingers on their faces. You can hear their breaths, ragged and shallow. They're trapped. These creatures, half human, half fish, seem like they belong to a different world. A world where they're not just part of the myths and legends passed down through generations. They're not some fairy tale. They're real. And the desperation in their eyes, that's real too. The men around them, those who have caught them, seem as scared as they are. They're uncertain. There's something unsettling about the way the mermaid's eyes follow their every move. Are they calculating their next move? Are they planning an escape? Or is there something else lurking beneath the surface? Something darker that the camera can't yet capture? The tension between the humans and these creatures grows. The men pull at the nets, trying to secure them more tightly. But the mermaids are strong. Their bodies are built to survive in the harshest of conditions, and even now, trapped, they fight with everything they have. Their faces contort, their jaws snap open in a display of sharp teeth, their mouths full of rage and fear. But amidst the struggle, you can see something else. A kind of intelligence in their eyes. They're not like animals. No, they're far from that. There's a human-like quality to them. Something that makes this all the more terrifying. They're sentient. They understand what's happening. They know their fate. They know that they're being watched, and they're making sure they leave their mark. As the camera moves from one mermaid to the other, the music builds. The air is thick with tension, and for a moment, everything is still. You can feel the weight of the moment, the inevitability of it all. There's no escape for these creatures. They're not going to just disappear into the ocean like in the legends. No, they're trapped. And you can't help but feel that same fear, that same sense of helplessness they must feel right now. The men try to keep their distance. They're not sure what to do. The mermaid's expressions are almost human. They're not some mindless creatures. They have thoughts. They have feelings. The second mermaid, the one who's thrashing, her eyes wild with panic, is now struggling less. She's realizing the futility of it all. And yet, even in her defeat, there's a strange calm. Almost like she's accepting her fate. And then, something changes. The first mermaid, the one who's been the calmest up until now, lets out a scream, a piercing, soul-shaking scream that reverberates through the boat. It's a call, a cry for help, but it's also a warning. The second mermaid's eyes widen as if she understands what's happening. She looks toward the first, and then, in a flash, both creatures freeze. They know it's over. They know their fate has been sealed. They're not getting out of this. Not now. Not ever. But what happens next is beyond comprehension. A man approaches, his face full of doubt, his hands shaking. He reaches out to untangle the net from one of the mermaids, and that's when it happens. The mermaid, with all her strength, snaps forward. A quick, brutal motion, and before anyone can react, she sinks her teeth into the man's arm. Blood spurts. His scream is swallowed by the roar of the wind and the crashing waves. The other men quickly rush in, trying to separate the creatures from their glowing with fury shows no remorse. She's not just a creature of the ocean. She's a predator. And for the first time, the humans realize they've been the prey all along. The tension in the air grows as the men pull back, realizing they're no longer in control. These creatures are far more dangerous than they could ever have imagined. The first mermaid, her face twisted in a grin, looks at them with a kind of knowing satisfaction. They're trapped now. They've crossed a line they can't uncross. And now, with everything changing around them, the story takes an even darker turn. The second mermaid, still trapped but quiet, no longer struggling, her eyes heavy with sadness, suddenly speaks. Her voice is unlike anything the men have ever heard. It's low, almost like a whisper carried on the wind. But there's a depth to Ida weight that seems to carry a message from somewhere deep beneath the sea. And then, just as quickly, the atmosphere shifts. The men, for a moment, believe they've captured the last of their fears. But the mermaids know something they don't. There's more. There's always more. The storm outside is relentless. As the sea churns deep in another corner of the world, something equally horrifying is beginning to surface. The internet, a vast ocean of content, is no stranger to viral videos, but this one, it's different. It's shaking people to their core. A video, recorded from a faraway location, has begun circulating at an alarming rate. It's one of those videos you can't unsee, one that leaves you questioning everything you thought you knew. Social media is ablaze with speculation, theories, and most importantly, fear. What's real, and what's simply fiction? This video, though, has everyone asking, could this really be happening? The footage is shaky, the quality far from perfect, but the content, it's beyond anything anyone expected. Some even say it looks like something out of a nightmare. Others believe it's staged, a fake for attention, but the emotions in the video, those are real. The raw terror, the desperate struggle, it's too real to ignore. And in the chaos of the storm, where the winds howl and the ocean's fury rises, a video emerges, capturing a scene that will forever haunt anyone who watches it. It's a close-up, shaky, filmed from an unknown vantage point. The creatures in the video, unlike anything from our world, are writhing in agony. Their faces, contorted in fear, frozen in time, look far too human to be part of any myth. The video has taken the world by storm. People from all over are sharing it, posting it, commenting, debating what it means. Could it be a prank? A hoax? Or is it something far more sinister? As the camera zooms in, the first thing you notice is the sheer terror etched on the mermaid's face. Her wide, unblinking eyes are locked in a frantic, helpless stare. You can almost hear her screams, even though the video is silent. Every detail is captured. Her skin glistening, her breathing shallow, erratic. She's not fighting anymore, not with strength, but with a fear so deep it's almost tangible. What's more unsettling, though, is the calmness of the men around her. They're not shouting, they're not panicking. No, they're doing their best to restrain her. But it's clear, they're not in control. They're unsure, hesitant. They don't know what they're dealing with. This is not a creature of legend, it's not a mere figment of folklore. She's real. The terror in her eyes is real. And it's spreading almost like a disease to everyone who sees the video. As the camera zooms out, the situation becomes even more chaotic. You see another mermaid caught in the same net, struggling just as fiercely. But there's something different about her. While the first one fights with desperation, the second one seems almost resigned to her fate. There's no panic in her eyes, just acceptance. It's chilling. What kind of creatures are these? Are they really as different as we've been led to believe? The first mermaid screams again. This time, it's a cry that sends a shiver down your spine. It's primal, guttural, a scream of fury, of anguish. She's not just struggling against her captors, she's fighting against the very world that's trapping her. Her sharp teeth glisten as she gnashes them in defiance, her body twisting and contorting in unnatural ways. It's a warning. It's a cry for help. It's everything you've ever feared about these creatures come to life. But the second mermaid, she's eerily still. The difference between them is like night and day. She doesn't thrash, doesn't scream. She simply watches, her eyes full of understanding. She knows what's coming, and there's nothing she can do to stop it. The men move closer, their hesitation palpable. One of them reaches for the net, trying to secure it tighter. The mermaid's eyes, however, never leave him. There's a strange intelligence in them. She's not wild, not like a beast. She's calculating, she knows what's happening, and she's aware of her surroundings. She's aware of the men. And, in her eyes, there's a flicker of something darker. Suddenly, in a swift motion, the first mermaid lunges. Her body jerks forward with terrifying speed, her sharp teeth sink into the arm of the closest man. The sound of his scream is drowned out by the cacophony of the storm. Blood splatters across the deck. Panic ensues. The other men rush to pull her away, but she's unrelenting. She fights with a ferocity that's almost human. The men scramble to control her, but it's too late. They've underestimated her, and now they're paying the price. This is no longer about capturing a creature. It's about survival. The men quickly realize that they're no longer in control of the situation. These mermaids, with their dark eyes and predatory instincts, are far more than just creatures of the sea. They are predators. They are hunters. And for the first time, the men realize they've become the prey. In the midst of the struggle, something else becomes clear. The mermaids aren't just fighting to escape. No, they're fighting for something deeper. It's not just about freedom, it's about revenge. These creatures are not the victims in this story. They are the ones who have been trapped, experimented on, hunted. They are not just part of the myth. They are the myth's darkest truth. And they know it. As the scene plays out, the camera captures every detail, every movement, every scream, every terrified glance. The fear in the men's eyes is unmistakable. They're no longer the hunters, they're the ones trapped in the storm. The mermaids, even though caught, seem to have the upper hand. They're not just animals in a cage. No, they're far more than that. And as the video continues, the situation grows more intense. The second mermaid, still bound but eerily calm, begins to speak in a voice unlike anything the men have ever heard. It's a voice that seems to come from the depths of the ocean, a voice filled with both ancient power and deep sorrow. She speaks softly, but the words carry weight. They carry a message, one that no one is ready to hear. The men, unable to comprehend what's happening, look at each other in confusion and fear. The storm outside rages on, but inside the boat, something darker is taking root. The creatures are speaking. The creatures are listening. And the creatures are preparing. The storm rages outside as the boat rocks, and within, something far more horrifying is emerging. A video, recorded in a distant corner of the world, has gone viral. It's shaky, imperfect, but the terror it captures is real. People are watching, reposting, speculating, questioning the authenticity. Some think it's staged, others believe it's something far darker, too real to ignore. The camera zooms in on the mermaid, her wide, terrified eyes locked in a frantic stare. You can almost hear her scream even without sound. Her skin glistens as she gasps for air, her breathing shallow and erratic. The men around her, struggling to restrain her, aren't panicking. They're unsure, hesitant. They thought they could handle her, but she's far beyond anything they've ever encountered. The video shows not just one, but two mermaids. The first fights with desperate rage. The second is eerily calm, her eyes resigned. The first mermaid lets out a scream, primal and gut-wrenching, a roar of fury and fear that reverberates through the boat. It's not just a creature of the sea. It's a predator, and she's fighting for survival. But the second mermaid, quiet and still, watches. Her eyes show intelligence, a deep awareness of the situation. As the men move closer, one reaches to secure the net tighter, but the mermaid's gaze never leaves him. There's something dark in her eyes, something calculating. She knows exactly what's happening. Suddenly, in a flash of speed, the first mermaid lunges. Her sharp teeth sink into the arm of the closest man. Blood sprays across the deck as the men scramble to control her. The roar of the storm drowns out the scream of the injured man. Panic erupts, but it's too late. The mermaid, fierce and unyielding, is in control now. The men, fighting for their lives, realize they're no longer the hunters. They've become the prey. As the camera pans, the mermaid's eyes burn with fury and intelligence. They're not mere animals. They're survivors. And they're not here to escape. They're here for revenge. The men, drenched in fear and exhaustion, try to pull her back, but the struggle is hopeless. They've underestimated her, and now they're paying the price. The video continues to capture the chaos, the men's terror palpable. The mermaids, even captured, seem to hold the upper hand. They're not helpless creatures, they're predators, and they've become the hunters in this fight. The storm outside rages, but inside there's no escape. The camera zooms in on the first mermaid, her eyes now wide and calculating. She's not just an animal. She's a force of nature. The men, realizing they're no longer in control, retreat. The mermaid's primal scream echoes through the boat, leaving nothing but silence in its wake. This is Seacam Encounters. Some creatures of the deep were never meant to be discovered.